Well, welcome to the book launch part of our program this evening. To launch Peter's book this evening is Mr. Nihal Gupta. Nihal was appointed chairman of the SBS on the 17th of October 2014, and we're so pleased that he has agreed to launch Peter Stanley's new book. Would you please welcome him this evening?
It's a great honour and a humbling privilege to be invited here to unveil what is an incredibly important literary achievement. This book tells of the relationships between Indian troops and the Anzacs as they fought alongside in 1915. In bringing them to life, Professor Stanley has done a great justice to the Indian individuals, their families, the country, ensuring that they have been remembered with dignity and honour, and not just faceless, anonymous colonial soldiers. Die in Battle, Do Not Despair is full of these remarkable stories, including one that I know is the author's favourite. It's a story of Lance Naik Karam Singh, who had the job to pass on the messages from the observation tower to the gunners in the emplacement. Wounded, hit by shrapnel, Karam Singh continued to pass on orders. And even when a gunner found him covered in blood, he said, "Never mind about me, I can carry on." It was only later, when forcibly removed, may I add, he was found to be rendered absolutely blind by a bullet which had passed behind his eyes. Karam Singh was one of the two recipients of the most prestigious Indian Order of Merit, and apart from his incredible story at Gallipoli, he appears for a second time in the book, some 30 years after being blinded. But you're going to have to read and buy the book to find out why, because I don't want to give away all of the stories, do I, Peter? So, Professor Stanley, we congratulate you, we applaud you, and we thank you for giving all Indians something to be very proud of. Your book has added depth and new chapters to the story, a story which we all know is so important not only to every Australian, but to everyone who is involved in the Anzac legend. For these reasons, I'm so very proud, humbled, and grateful to be here to talk about and to celebrate this great achievement. So please join with me to congratulate Professor Peter Stanley as we launch this very significant and timeless book, Die in Battle, Do Not Despair.
Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for being here to celebrate the launch of Die in Battle, Do Not Despair. Nihal, thank you very much for your kind remarks. It's also remarkable, I think, that you've read the book, and you don't always get that. So. Now, book launches are joyous occasions, not least because they're celebrations, and they're celebrations of several things. They give me an opportunity to acknowledge those who have contributed to the creation of that peculiar artefact, the book. So I'm going to go through them. First of all, I want to thank UNSW Canberra, where I'm exactly halfway through my 5-year contract. I also want to especially thank the support of the Department of Defence, and Andrew Craig and his colleagues have provided support without which neither the book nor the website that used to be on that screen would have been completed as soon or as well. And the department provided absolutely invaluable support, which enabled me to travel to consult records or to obtain the images, which, as Nihal's pointed out, are such an important part of telling the story. I also want to acknowledge the help of a large number of individuals, both here in Australia, in New Zealand, in Britain, and especially in India and Nepal, who've helped me to draw on especially the stories of the personal stories that Nihal picked up is such an important part of the book. They include a lot of people, but some people here, Manpreet Singh put me in touch with the Australian Sikh community, and that's been a really important part of telling the individual stories. The present Maharaja of Patiala, who had records that he's an historian, but he shared his records with me so that the story of the Patialas, who have never had the recognition, so their story can be told. And sons and grandsons especially of individual sepoys, especially Sikhs. I also want to really express my gratitude to Squadron Leader Rana China. Rana runs the Centre for Military Historical Research in the United Services Institution of India, and in fact the book is dedicated to him. He would have written a book about Indians on Gallipoli, but I got there first. And even though he knew I'd got there first, he still shared his material tremendously generously with me, and I'll always be grateful for that. He is also the person most responsible for reinvigorating Indian military history. So I pay special tribute to Rana. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you for coming. Thank you for celebrating the book. And thank you, Nihal, for that wonderful speech. Thank you all.